Baby, don't play with me, baby, because I get active for real. But hey, I'm stay out of it.
It's time to sip that coffee, get your mind right, and vibe with the queen herself. We're dishing out hot topics, wellness tips of the day, and things that make you go, Let's get this palace party started.
All right. Happy Wednesday. Welcome everybody to our morning corporate segment. This is what we do every Wednesday here over in the Palace. Listen, we are happy to have you. I hope everybody got a fantastic night of sleep. It's Wednesday morning. They refer to it in the corporate segment as hump day. Honey, you are almost there. Just hang on. A change is coming. But happy Wednesday to everybody. And let me just double check to make sure that I'm coming through loud and clear before I keep talking. I just want to do a quick audio check. Best Jeanette says, good day, Palace. Good day to you, Queen. Shanta L is in the building. Good morning to you here and more. To Latrice, y'all, my moderator is here. Make sure y'all show her some love along with Linda Gamble. Honey, we're happy to see y'all. Captain Venus is in the building. Mama V is in the building. Irene Bay, Jenny B, y'all, they are pulling up, unloading. Listen, good morning, everybody. Mrs. Price 60, I see ya. Best program, hanging on with dear life. Listen, child, it's early. And just let them people know when you pull up to work. Hold on, let me run it again. Because listen, y'all know how it is when you pull up to corporate America and you ain't had your coffee and they trying to talk. Listen, when that coworker approaches you, they said in the morning before you've had your coffee, before you can pull out your laptop, baby, that is the morning look. And that's what we're rolling with today. Welcome to corporate segment. Y'all, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I think we're about to hurt some feelings up in here, but that's what we do. We have these tough, genuine, authentic conversations here in the Palace, all things corporate America on Wednesday mornings. But before we get started, of course, we do our wellness check-in. We're going to give you a financial tip of the day, and then we're going to jump right in. But today's corporate segment, research shows that corporate America has become extremely toxic for Black women of color, y'all. Not only research, y'all, they have the scientific stats. The scientific stats that's going to blow your mind. I'm going to share a video with you. It's going to wake you the hell up. It's going to wake you the hell up this morning. Outside of Folgers being in your cup, honey. And you're going to have to make some decision. The luxury bucket say, listen, I got a meeting in 5 minutes. Listen, hold on. Because look, I want you to walk in there like this. Look, hold on. Let me put it on for you now. Because you got a few of them that will try you. Let me see if I can find it. Don't tell me I got rid of it. Oh, here we go with these morning
Baby, don't play with me, baby, because I get active for real. But hey, I'm stay out of it.
Listen, the luxury bucket, we want you to stay out of it. We want you to stay out of it before you go to that meeting, honey. We want you to sit down somewhere. We want you to take out your notes and stay out of it. Don't get active for real. Don't let your mark get you fired today. Okay? Listen. All right, we're going to jump right into it. Good morning, Simone Wealthy. Everybody's pulling up. This is what we're going to do first before we talk about the toxicity, y'all. They said it's so toxic in corporate America for Black women, it actually changes your chromosomes. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot. But we're going to talk about it. Before we do, I want you to drop the word in the chat. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, what we do every Wednesday morning before we get into the meat and the potatoes, into the thick of it, we check in real quick with one word. The one word is how you are feeling. I need a good adjective. A good adjective that's going to describe how you're feeling. Now, wait, because some of y'all are quick on the trigger. Think about it. Be mindful. How are you feeling? Or how are you trying to feel at the end of this segment? Let's go. We got Tenacious by Trisha Berry. We got Ready. Mama V is feeling ready. Chromosomes. Yes. Watch. Yes. Hold on. Yes. We got Motivated. We got Hopeful. We have Aligned coming in. We got Grateful from Mary Faith Carter. Badass. Shelly is feeling like a badass. She's feeling like a badass heading into work today. We got Happy. We got Shifting. Okay. Revived. A little bit of anxiety. Simone, how did your talk go last week? We got Anxiety. We have Amazing. We have Interested. What else do we have? Awesome. Determined. Listen. That ain't bad. We're not off to a bad start for a Wednesday morning, especially if you are already at work. If you are already at work and you're feeling this, that's okay. That ain't bad. We got Valuable. Hold on. Listen. Now you're going to quit playing with us, the Asset Noir, talking about demure. She's feeling demure. Listen. Hold on now. I thought they said y'all bet. Listen.
Stop the cap.
Mm-mm. Say demure one more time. I can't even say it. She is. Say demure one more time. Know what is feeling loved. We got Determined. What else we got? Who is this? Jen Morg says, "Hey Queen, I'm on the however, I'll be in and out. I got you. Hey Princess and Princesses. Hey Toms and Marys in the bushes. Love you all. All right, Jen Morg, have a great day. Grand rising to everybody. We got intelligent. We got excited, intentional. Okay. You said you're struggling, but you're grateful. You got to choose the DIMP 72. You got to choose. You can't be either or, baby. Come on, push through. Go ahead and go with grateful. See where it takes you this morning. Frisky. Okay. Well, hopefully you working from home this morning. If you feeling frisky, baby, because we don't want no sexual. Listen, you know what? Let me be quiet. Let me say it like this. We don't want HR coming and tapping you on your shoulder in that cubicle saying, excuse me, she says she feeling frisky. Well, you go ahead and call out. Okay, and handle that. And go ahead and call out and handle that. And with that being said, we're going to get started because I know y'all are ready to dive in this corporate segment. Research shows that corporate America has become extremely toxic for women of color. Ooh, it's taking y'all out. They say it's taking you out, honey. It's shifting your entire scientific structure inside of your body. The stress is so, oh, you know what? Let me just get to it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me just get to it. Let me drop the link. Before we get started, before I forget. And I want to hear your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hear your thoughts because this is going to be one of those days. We hope to leave you better than what we found you. We hope to have some thought-provoking conversation. And let's get into it. Let's shift to our financial wellness segment of the day where we're just going to drop a quick financial tip of the week. And then we're going to tell me what y'all think about this. Tell me what y'all think about this financial tip of the week. I think I played it last week. If so, I'll go to the next one. There you go. The DIM 72 says, okay, thank you. You're right. All positive. I am grateful. There you go. Shoot, sometimes you got to kick your own ass and remind yourself of who you are. Say, I'm grateful. There you go. You were stuck in the middle. Don't be stuck in the middle when it comes to you, baby. You always got to choose you. You always got to bet on you. And that's how we're moving this morning. And with that being said, we're going to shift to the financial segment. Y'all, if I showed this last week, please pardon me, but we're going to run it back again. Here we go.
Things that broke people think they're supposed to do to get wealthy that will never work.
Save.
It's
never going to get you to rich. Yeah, you can only save your way to zero, right? You could save your way to like not spending anything, I guess, if you don't need to eat or live or have fun. But it's way easier to earn more than it is to save everything. Spend less, sure. But actually, once you learn how to earn, you're unstoppable. And I don't think anybody becomes unstoppable by saving. In fact, you get very scarcity mindset. It's really hard, I think, to earn like crazy if you're obsessed with saving. Because I think
outlook on us being conditioned to save as much as possible. What are your thoughts? Did we share this last week? I know we talked about the top 5 businesses that Cody Sanchez recommend that people that could have been behind the wall. Sometimes I get our sessions confused. Okay, so we talked about this last week. Okay, hold on. Let's go to the next one then. I got another one. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Let's do this. Watch this. I want you to listen to what he's saying very, very carefully. Watch this.
Excuse me, sir. Question for you. Have you ever been broke before?
Why do you ask that?
I started a channel.
What's that?
Said Mike. I started a channel at the University of Texas in Austin. I grew it to 7 million followers, and I go.
Yeah, I've been broke.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you do for a living?
I was in Wall Street.
And what did you do after Wall Street? You
I'm
just.
still doing it. I
You
manage money.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
It was income.
How much was that?
14 million.
$14 million. What is one lesson about money or business that you would give to somebody that they will not learn in school?
Okay. It's very simple. Believe nothing that you hear and only half of what you see, because the other half is an illusion. And that's the most important thing I could teach somebody.
And in your opinion, what's the best industry people should be looking to get into in today's world?
It's gold.
Gold?
It's gold.
Why is that?
In January of 23, the central bank for all central banks in the world came out with Basel III, and it put gold as a tier 1 legal asset in the global banking system. There's 3 legal assets, tier 1. There's cash, sovereign bonds, and now gold. So gold is where you want to be.
Are you a business owner?
Well, I run money.
What was the greatest lesson that you learned about entrepreneurship?
Every dollar you think you need to get into business, add 10, because you're going to run out of money. And the most important thing in my life that makes me successful is finding the right woman. This is our 62nd anniversary today. If you're a man and you're going down a path that has a lot of challenges, most wives become part of the problem. I have one became always part of the solution.
If you want to learn how to start.
All right. I want to talk about it. What was the key takeaway? Were y'all able to grab it without me explaining it? He run money. He sure did. He said, I run money. Now listen, he talking like he from the South. That's what my grandpa would say. I run money. Listen, he said, I run money. He sound like Marty from Ozark, but you know what? Okay. The takeaway, y'all, what he said is invest in gold. If you haven't already, invest in gold. He just told you what's happening behind the scenes in 2023. That's the financial wellness tip of the week. Invest in gold. Find a way to invest in gold. And I'm going to play it again. And I'm going to stop it and pause it because I need to call out some important things of how successful people carry themselves. If you listen, he's a good listener. We always talk about this behind the wall. Successful people do not like you wasting their time. They're going to interrupt you. They're going to listen for the key components. They're going to get straight down to it. Watch it again. I'm going to pause it. She said, let me go find some gold. Girl, you better. Good morning. Good morning. Hold on. Let me run it back because I think y'all missed some of it. Watch this.
And grow a business directly from the million.
So this young man is going to approach this guy. And he got a spiel, which we call his elevator speech. Watch how the man interrupts him. Watch this.
Millionaires I interview every single week. Comment the word wealth down below. Excuse me, sir.
Watch
Question for you. Have you ever been broke before?
Why do you ask that?
His first question is, why do you want to know? Why do you ask that? Successful people ask a lot of questions before they start talking. He's just trying to find out. Why do you ask that? Watch this. The young kid he's not a young kid. He's a young man. He's going to start to get into his elevator speech. Watch this.
I started a channel. I said, Mike.
Then the millionaire said, wait a minute. Not only why do you ask that, what's that in your hand? Controlling the narrative. Watch this. Here we go. That's 2 questions he's asked in the first 15 seconds of this guy trying to give a spiel and a pitch.
I started a channel at the University of Texas in Austin. I grew it to 7 million followers, and I go.
Yeah, I've been.
He didn't care about that. He don't care about your 7 million followers. Why do you ask? What's that in your hand? And when he heard I started a channel, I go to the University of Texas. Yes, I've been broke before. Let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. What's the importance? Time is of essence. I don't have time to hear your speech. I don't have time to get all of your background, to hear what you do, why you do it before I start talking, because successful people, I'm going to tell y'all this for real, they have little to no time. Yes, I've been broke before. Let's run it back. Yes, I've been broke before. That's the only thing that matters.
Been broke.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you do for a living?
I was in Wall Street.
And what did you do after Wall Street? You
I'm
just
still doing it. I
You
manage money.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
It was income.
How much was that?
14 million.
$14 million. What is one lesson about money or business that you would give to somebody that they will not learn in school?
Okay. It's very simple. Believe nothing that you hear and only half of what you see. Because
That's it. Believe nothing that you hear from them. He's telling you, listen, I told y'all before, I can't run everything back that we talk about behind the wall or that we talk about when it comes to finances. Believe nothing of what they tell you. We can start with your 401k. We can start with your 401k where you've been conditioned not to touch it until a certain age. Leave it here. We're better off managing it for you. He says, believe nothing of what they tell you, what you hear, and only half of what you see. All right. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I'm going to stop sharing. That's all I wanted to run. Time is money. Invest in gold. Believe none of what they tell you, none of what you hear, and only half of what you see. Yes, that's it. Take it, do with it as you please. I'm not here to convince anybody, but I want to break you out of that bubble of being conditioned and told what to do. And I really want to challenge you to figure out how you can achieve a level of financial freedom that works for you. Simone Wealthy says, where? How do you invest in gold? Stocks, stock options? I would research both. The easiest place to start would be stock. That would be the easiest place to start, in my opinion. Here's the thing about gold, minerals. They're actually more expensive than you think. Gold, copper, coal. If you cannot afford gold, I would look at coal. I would look at lithium. You see what I'm saying? And some of those, if you care to write those down. So that's the best. That's one of the easiest places to start is with stock. Now, I am not a financial expert. I'm learning like y'all are. I'm a student like you are. So we're all learning together. But there are some things I have invested in. I do believe in seeking. Seeking you shall find, knock, and the door shall be open. That's right. Regina B said, that's right, Queen. Find out things for yourself. Absolutely. Don't just line up like a herd of cattle and do as you're told. You got to bust out the seams and start researching for yourself. And the man just said, I run money. Believe none of what you hear. None of it. What about going through a financial advisor? I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with the young kids sitting behind the desk telling me how to run my money when you make $17, maybe $20 an hour. That's just me. That's just me. Is Cinnamon Swirl in the building? Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Simone, I'm not sure. Yeah, but research. There you go. Be what you know. All right. So we're about to jump over. So I hope that was helpful. Gold. Because who would have thought? And he told you what happened in 2023. Okay. If you haven't already, get you a piece of gold. I know everybody's talking about Apple. Everybody's talking about Amazon, but he's saying gold. Actually, let me play it one more time because I want y'all to be able to write down what he said. Let me play it one more time about the gold part. Here he is.
Because the other half is an illusion. And that's the most important thing I could teach somebody.
And in your opinion, what's the best industry people should be looking to get into in today's world?
It's gold.
Gold?
It's gold.
Why is that?
In January of 23, the central bank for all central banks in the world came out with Basel III, and it put gold as a tier one legal asset in the global banking system. There's three legal assets, tier one. There's cash, sovereign bonds, and now gold. So gold is where you want to be.
Are you a business?
All right. Gold is where you want to be. There's only three legal assets: gold, cash. What was the other one? Sovereign bonds. Hell, write them all down. Write them all. You only need to know a little. You only need to know a little bit about a lot to be dangerous. And there you have it. Gold, sovereign bonds, cash. Yeah. Cash, sovereign bonds. There you go. There you go. Tip number 1, buy gold. Yep, there you go. All right, y'all got it? All right. Regina B says, Queen, I feel so good allowing me to see 55 years and counting. Congratulations, Queen. I celebrated and really enjoyed myself yesterday, but nothing's going to stop me from turning into the queen. Yes, thank you. And happy belated birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to you, Regina B. We are so glad that you're here. I hope you had a fantabulous birthday. Listen, Captain Venus was able to jot it down for us. Number 1, gold. Number 2, sovereign bonds. Number 3, cash. There you go, y'all. Screenshot it. Screenshot it. Get it how you get it. Get it how you get it. I love it. Gold, sovereign bonds, and cash. All right, here we go. Let me go back, and then we're going to shift to this research on to this research on women of color in corporate America. It's about to blow your mind. Pull up a chair, because we're about to be schooled. We are about to be schooled. I don't even know why I put the banner back up. Let me take it off because I got to show y'all. All righty. Share screen. Here we go. All right. About to blow your mind. Are y'all ready? I think we're ready. All right.
What corporate cultures are really like for Black women. And Paradigm for Parity's job is to help us get into leadership roles. So reality check. Women of color make up just 5.5% of senior leadership roles. Black women are 1.5 times more likely to be sent home or know of a Black woman who was sent home from the workplace because of her hair. More than 40% of Black and Latino women reported being interrupted and spoken over in a work setting. 1/3 of women of color said that others take credit for their ideas. And we did a series last summer on the mental health toll of corporate cultures on Black women. And it really blew me away to do this research. Constant exposure to microaggressions and all this kind of stuff increases anxiety, paranoia, depression, sleep difficulties, lack of confidence, all that other stuff. But it was the physical stuff that really blew my mind, because one thing that we all know as Black women, you assimilate to fit into corporate cultures. You're not yourself. Boston University, this really blew my mind, found that chromosomal shifts actually take place in Black women who are exposed to these microaggressions. It's like our bodies are that intelligent. They literally try to turn us into a different person. Diabetes, depression, heart disease, high blood pressure. And I know Black women put out 30% more cortisol than white women. What corporate culture?
Whew, I'm going to let that marinate. I'm going to let that marinate for a second. Just for a quick second. I need to let that marinate. I need it to land. Cortisol, it's a hormone, y'all. They say we produce 30% more than our white counterparts, our peers, our peer group, whatever. I hope I said it right. Cortisol is a hormone, and it's essential for life, and it's produced by the adrenal glands. And it's actually located on top of the kidneys. It's also known as the stress hormone because it's released when the body experiences stress. I'll stop there. I don't think you have a chance. Oh, I don't think you have a chance according to science, the University of Boston. And they talk about what's happening in your body. Depression, diabetes, cortisol production, depression, sleep, what is it called when you can't sleep? All of this. I just dropped the link. I just resonate so much. Chrysala says resonate. I don't care if you are making the most money you've ever made. Listen, you are being impacted scientifically, biologically, physiologically. Let me play it again. Chrysala says, this resonates so much. This is my story. All I can do is hope and pray. Pause. Makes your belly fat. You're not going to lose weight. Your stress, it's killing you. It's making you sick. There is a study that they've done biologically on Black women. It is changing because they're literally changing you as a person. The pressure is so much. You are changing. I don't care how you think you're navigating. It doesn't matter how well you think you're performing. How many pats on the head, how many pats on the back. Scientifically, It's not working. It's toxic. Let's play it again. I think this is so profound. I think this is like, it blew me away. It blew me away. And I see some of you are saying, Aquarius 1982 says, I studied cortisol. It will take you out. It will take you out. So if you're not able to sleep, that's one of the reasons why. My question for you, I told you this is going to be one of them conversations that's going to wake you up. I said it. I said it's going to wake you up better than Folgers in your cup. Now my question is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Now you have the answers. Now you kind of got a better understanding of what's going on. But let me play it one more time.
Culture I really like for Black women. And Paradigm for Parity's job is to help us get into leadership roles. So reality check. Women of color make up just 5.5% of senior leadership roles.
First of all, women of color, not Black women, women of color. So you're running up against all women of color, and the total amount that represent senior leadership roles is just 5.5%. Damn.
Roles. Black women are 1.5 times more likely to be sent home or know of a Black woman who was sent home from the workplace because of her hair.
I think they said hair. Be sent home because of your hair? Is that what they said? This is crazy. Black women, 1.5 more times to be sent home or know another woman that was sent home because of her what? Yeah, hair. As if you're in school. The microaggressions, the bondage, the symbolism of it all, the lack of freedom. Let's keep going.
More than 40% of Black and Latino women reported being interrupted and spoken over in a work setting.
Work setting, meetings, interrupted, not valued, underappreciated. Hush, be quiet. We don't care. You don't matter. I'm just saying interrupted, spoken over in meetings, not allowed to finish your thought completely so that you can contribute. What does that mean? How do you get paid? You get paid from productivity. You get paid for output. You get paid for your contributions to the team, your thought leadership. Your bonuses are structured upon your performance. Your pay increases are structured based upon your performance. And if you are being interrupted, if you're not being allowed to fully participate equally and fairly as your counterparts, what does that do to your pay? What does that do to your increases at the end of the year? You get what I'm saying?
A third of women of color said that others take credit for their ideas.
And even if we do allow you to speak, there's a chance that your ideas may be taken.
And we did a series last summer on the mental health toll.
That was that. Now she's saying, I've named all of that. Now let's talk about your mental health, baby. Now let's talk about your mental health. I've named off all of this. This is just for the within the walls of the corporate culture that Black women have reported how they are treated. Now let's get into your mental health. What?
Toll of corporate cultures on Black women. And it really blew me away to do this research. Constant exposure to microaggressions and all this kind of stuff increases anxiety, paranoia, depression.
Constant exposure. When was the last time you actually took a leave of absence? When was the last time you were situated financially to say, you know what, let me tap out for 3 to 6 months. I've got enough saved. Let me get that 401k up out you. I'm going to take a break because I'm going to take a sabbatical because constant exposure to microaggressions increases anxiety, paranoia, and depression.
Sleep difficulties, lack of confidence, all that other stuff.
You're not able to sleep. Your confidence is actually not there.
But it was the physical stuff that really blew my mind, because one thing that we all know as Black women, you assimilate to fit into corporate cultures. You're not yourself. Boston University, this really blew my mind, found that the chromosomal shifts actually take place in Black women who are exposed to these microaggressions. It's like our bodies are that intelligent. They literally try to turn us into a different person.
Your body is so intelligent that it recognizes when you're not showing up as your whole authentic self. We can stop there. Your body is so intelligent. Science, the beauty of God. Your bodies are so intelligent that it recognizes that you are not being yourself. So your body works, turn you into a whole different person. Your chromosomes begin to shift to find their rightful place. Trisha, I'm gonna let you mute whatever you got going on in the background, and then I'll come back to you. You had a little bit of an echo.
Diabetes, depression, heart disease, high blood pressure. And I know Black women put out 30% more cortisol.
Black men, are you listening? Diabetes, depression, high blood pressure. No wonder why they come home stressed, depressed. I'm sorry, y'all. Resting bitch face. Appearing to be unapproachable. You got a lot. We got a lot we're up against.
Than white women. What corporate cultures are really like for Black.
That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Welcome, Trisha Berry. Woo, what are your thoughts? You're on mute. You got it. There you go.
Good morning, Queen Sheba Palace.
Good morning.
Oh my God. I have a lot to say about that. I have experienced all of that. Everything that she talked about. I mean, from the time I'm going back some years, I've been in corporate America for many, many years. I'm on the closer side. I'm closer to retiring now. But all of the things that she said are absolutely facts. I was very ambitious, always wanted to be not necessarily C-suite, but director, senior director level. I've always aspired to be. And I got into corporate America, and in that space, it's just like they stifle us. They stifle us so much with the microaggressions. Um, I I was working in a department where it wasn't customer service, but it was kind of like customer service. They had all of us on the floor, and then around the perimeter of the department, you got the offices with all of the Caucasian, C-suite, senior level, management, right? And I applied to, elevate my career and advance. And I could never, ever get out. It took me, I want to say like 12 years to finally get promoted with this company. Once I got promoted, I was doing something totally, totally different, got promoted, and it was worse. It was like I went from
Yes.
the frying pan into
Mm,
the fire. It was
yes.
worse, and it started, just like from the top down. It was a smaller department that I was promoted into, but that was the first time I experienced bullying, and from a white counterpart, and not only a white counterpart, a black counterpart. It was like two of them, two bullies that were just mean girls. I had me and like two other ladies had been hired into these roles, and when we were hired into them, we didn't come in like on the lower level. We came in on the higher level. And those bullies, they didn't like that. They felt like we should have had to start at the level one, then go to the level two to work our way up to where we were on the
So where are
level
you
three.
now, Trisha?
Well,
Where are you now?
okay, let me get to that. Let me fast forward. So I ended up going out on FMLA twice with that particular job. And I quit. I quit. I got another job offer because I always strive to, increase my income. So I ended up not coming back from my FMLA. I got another job offer, and it just the cycle just continued from there. The last role that I got into, making more money than I had ever made. It's just like, yes, the money is increasing, it's growing, and hit again with the toxicity of it all. And I quit last year, November of last year. I quit. I put that in the chat a couple of times when we talk about the corporate segments or whatever, but I ended up quitting. It was the microaggressions and all of the things. And I was like, you know what? I've been dealing with the toxicity of it all my working career. I'm ready to, almost ready to retire. I'm not putting up with this shit. Like, I gotta go. And I left, and I didn't have a plan B. And I hear you talk about, us, making emotional decisions and things like that. I don't know if it was an emotional decision, but at that point in time in my life, I just did not care. I didn't care. I left. I've been unemployed for the past 10 months, struggling to, do all of the things that make my life run. But fast forward to last week, Tuesday, I got a job offer that I accepted. And it is,
Congratulations.
yeah, I'm really happy about it. It's even more money than what I was making before. It's 100% remote. So I don't have to worry about, not that I don't have to worry about what we're talking about today, because it can still exist and
Right,
happen
right.
in a virtual environment. But I think we can better control it, if that makes sense.
Well, hold on. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you. And in the video that we showed about the toxic culture for Black women, and she said it, she said there is scientific biological changes when you are exposed for long periods of time to microaggressions. There's a chromosomal shift. Your body recognizes that you are not being yourself. So your body actually tries to change and turn you scientifically into a different person. And what
Mm.
Trisha is sharing that she was able to do, you guys, is to take a break twice by way of FMLA. I'm not going to call that an emotional decision. I'm going to call that a necessary decision. She did what she needed to do in the time that she needed to do it, because it was absolutely necessary that I hashtag get out, period, point blank. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Trisha. And congratulations to you on your new position.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, yep. Oh, y'all, it's a lot. It's an absolute lot. And listen, I'm sorry if y'all come up and I interrupt. It's just that I got to push it along. I got to make sure we get there, because I know some people are in and out, and they're coming in and out of meetings. So if I come in and I kind of push you along and interrupt you, it's because we got to, we only have a limited amount of time. So if I'm jumping in there, come on, I'm pushing you along. So welcome, Savannah.
Good morning, Queen,
Good
and good morning,
morning. What are you?
Palace. Happy
Morning.
Wednesday. I am absolutely loving this conversation. I think I've shared before that my work environment is one that it is very challenging to be your authentic self at times. And when I enter into conversations or anything that I enter into, whether it's meetings or group assignments, I have to gauge. Unfortunately, I do have to gauge and make sure, is the other person accepting of my. I have to sometimes subdue my personality. My personality in this work environment that I am in, it's difficult for it to allow to shine through. I gauge every interaction with other, whether it's colleagues or co-workers. I have to be. Everyone here is very robotic, and they like cookie cutter. They all look the same to me. I don't feel comfortable at times sharing my interest or displaying my unique style, my sincerity and honesty. So I'm constantly gauging my everyday interaction with people that I work with. So being in I'm not at a place in my life where I can say, okay, I'm gonna pursue something else, because I am ready to, in a few years, hang this up and start traveling. So, in the current assignment that I am in, I believe that I am being tested because I don't have a degree in this. It's finance. I don't even like finance, but they're asking me to learn this system so I can break it and bring back something better, more efficient, more. Um, so at first, I was looking at it like, okay, they're testing me, testing my skills, and actually, I during the pandemic, I started writing and making a blog. And before I knew it, I had over 50,000 words. And so I'm thinking about making it into a book. The title is called Do You See Me? Because as a Latina, in these political halls and you're involved in meetings of lawmaking decisions and things like this, your voice is extremely muted. Sometimes they look at you, they think you're either an administrative assistant or sometimes even the help.
Let me
And
ask you
so
this,
it becomes,
Anna. I
yes,
want to
ma'am.
move it along. Where are you now? How are you solutioning for it? And I think that's important because they're wanting to know, right? Because we can relate,
Mhm.
but where are you now? How are you solving? What's your strategy, your contingent strategy for the future? Because they're tuned in and they want to know how we're solutioning because I think we can all identify the barriers, the challenges, and the triggers. But what the audience really wants to know is how are you ladies solutioning?
So currently for me, I am trying to build on relationships on more of a personal level. I am in a senior leadership position, and I work well with my team. I allow my team to kind of represent who I am and my leadership skills and abilities. So that has helped us plan for what's the unexpected or what's the next. And although I am being tested with this current assignment, I am seeking more of a, how can I say this? I am working with others to improve my communication and actually my tolerance level sometimes with people who I think are challenging my intelligence or muting my voice. So I make sure that I am heard and I am seen, and that my team is well represented in what we do.
Oh, so she's actually partnered. Are you what we call it a mentor, a trusted advisor, a sponsor? Like when you say
I
I'm
am
working with people,
mentoring and coaching.
no, so when you're saying you're receiving and you're partnering with other people to help you work on your communication, who are these people to you? Is that somebody that's mentoring you? Is that somebody within the corporate segment that's sponsoring you? Like who's like what is the title? What is the relationship structure or dynamic?
So the reason I took this assignment is because I absolutely love the energy of my director. So I came to her one evening and I explained to her that I was having challenges with this current assignment because it's not in my degree field. And so she and basically, she has been coaching me and mentoring me for the
Gotcha.
past 5 weeks. Yes, ma'am. So,
Okay,
and
okay.
that has helped me look at what the task is that I have on hand and building from
Got it.
that. So I have
Okay.
sought guidance.
Okay. So what Samantha would not Samantha. I always get Samantha and Savannah. So Savannah, okay. So Trisha actually took 2 leaves of absences and she recognized, you know what? No, that was her solution to call a timeout in real time and say, no, I cannot do this. I've got to figure out something else. And she did it as many times as she needed to, which was the equivalent of two. Savannah is actually partnering with a more senior person within the organization who's helping her to fill in the gaps. Because you remember, the research shows it says it also kills your confidence. And communication can be one of those things that go out the window, y'all. You can be an excellent communicator, an excellent facilitator, an excellent presenter. But once you've been exposed for a long period of time to these microaggressions in corporate America, you can become so unsure of yourself. So, what Savannah has done is actually partnered with somebody that's helping her to reestablish her communication style. Would that be safe to say?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and I will tell you, I'm the only minority in this team. So it presents another challenge, but I am able to use it as more of an advantage than a disadvantage.
Yep. Let me tell you something, and I really want to do this for Black women. The video I showed you with the young man from the University of Texas, and he approached the older white guy that's a millionaire. Did you see how quickly that man needed him to get to the point? And that was white on white. Now, if you go back to the video of the African American lady talking about how Black women have shared that they are interrupted. And she said, there's a high probability that you are going to be interrupted in meetings, not just Black women, women of color. Ladies, it's going to be to your advantage in corporate America that if you are speaking in meetings, that you get to the point very quickly. Because I've been interrupted, I've learned how to do it very quickly. Give them the meat and potatoes, because half the time they don't want to hear us. Yes, very impatient and disrespectful. Right. They do it to everybody, but it's more likely to occur to women of color, Chrysalis. So if you're going to stay, my recommendation is that we learn how to play the game. You got about 30 seconds in some aspects in the meeting, if they're kind, before they jump in. So that's one recommendation that I always give to Black women and women of color. Have your thoughts ready to go. Have your points ready to go. Come out with the most important, just in case in corporate America, in those meetings, on those projects, that you are interrupted. Now, if it happens for white on white within the first 15 seconds, you may not get to 15 seconds. You may not get to 30 seconds. But I just wanted to point that out because Valerie came through and she said the microaggressions are part of everyday work environment, part for everybody. But listen, it's completely different for you as a woman of color, Valerie. Yes, it is a part of everyday work environment, but yours is different. Even if you've become used to it, yours is different. It's a more aggressive when it comes to you, according to research. So the little bit that you think you're getting, your counterparts don't even receive that level of harshness. So I wanted to throw that out there. That's something that I've learned to practice. And I hope that it's helpful for someone else, Savannah, and everybody else that's tuned in. We don't receive the same courtesies to be able to walk through our thoughts and hash them out. You got to be ready to go. Unfortunately, it is what it is. What are your thoughts on that, Savannah? You're on mute. So yeah, it is what it is.
Thank you. I apologize. I was struggling with the mute button. So yes, ma'am, I completely agree because, they differentiate our values by highlighting our unique offerings, but with some proper training, you have to know what sets you apart from others and the benefits that are achieved when we put importance on understanding each other's needs, and we can also allocate resources to build that trust that is absolutely needed. And trust is only achieved when the quality of your work is consistently conveyed and credibility is then recognized. They cannot deny your work output, your work ethic, and that is what I strive and let my team know. And any, especially minorities, when they come into this work environment, I definitely let them know that your work ethic, what you put out, the quality has to be consistent because they can never deny your skills and abilities.
What are your thoughts on Black women and women of color needing to get to the point very quickly in these settings, in these meetings when we talk? Savannah.
I'm sorry, Queen. They're vacuuming, so I don't want to be
Oh, that's
disrespectful,
okay.
and they come in
That's
here.
okay. You're fine. So what are your thoughts on Black women, just a recommendation, Black women, women of color needing to practice or just be, not because you're wrong, ladies. Let me just say this, because of the environment. Not because you don't deserve to be heard, but based on what we know and based on the research that she's shown and the data that they've collected. What are your thoughts, Savannah, on women of color and Black women needing to get to the point very quickly when they speak in meetings?
That definitely has to come with research and facts, and have your, by the third slide you should already have your meat and potatoes on that slide deck, because their attention span is, they want to get to the why, and they don't have time for all the fillers, as they call them here. So definitely be with research, taking notes, and coming in with data that cannot be denied. So information has to be shared upfront and quickly, and make sure that your facts are correct.
I agree. I agree with Savannah, and I'll take it a step further. If you can, as you begin to get into your presentation, and I'm just like, and she's talking about like slides where you're actually presenting. And we can talk about that, or we can just talk about meetings where you're just actually in meetings, like the lady said, women of color, you 2 to 3 more times likely to be interrupted and not allowed to finish your thought. And because of that, my contingency for you, my strategy for you is to begin to practice to get to the point very quickly. Very quickly. And Savannah's presenting like from a facilitation standpoint. If you are in a situation where you have to present, that first slide, not the welcome slide and you're introducing who you are, but the first slide of your meat and your potatoes, make that first slide so compelling that you can do your whole presentation. All of the information needed is located on that first slide, just in case you're not allowed to get to the second, third, fourth, or fifth. Okay. Take no time for granted. And listen, that in and of itself is crazy to me that we even have to have these types of conversations. Chrysalis says, my mental space won't allow me to survive in corporate America. I don't, listen, you weren't meant to survive in corporate America. You were meant to thrive. If we're talking about, you get what I'm saying? So you're absolutely spot on with that, Chrysalis. Yeah. Why would they have to get to the why faster than everybody else? It's just the way it is, the structure. They tune us. They just said it, Tennessee girl. They don't want to listen. I don't know how much upfront I can be. You're going to get interrupted. Some people, see, don't forget, because you're in a workplace, that people don't bring their biases into a workplace. We're expecting people to be kind. We're expecting to be treated as everybody else is being treated. But according to research, that is not happening from the surveys and the research that they're doing and collecting from women of color. So why do we have to get to the point quicker? Because they're going to interrupt you. They're not going to let you finish. So if you're going to remain in those types of toxic environments, you need to have a strategy ready to go. You need to have all of your information up front, because you are paid based on your performance. And a lot of times, if you do not get to the point very quickly, they're going to leave. And I was talking to somebody about this yesterday and said, we didn't understand that. Now it becomes a situation, a backroom conversation about the incompetence. It didn't make sense. And you're like, well, you didn't let me finish. You already know what you're up against, have a strategy in place. Let's go. Let's play ball. That's true, Aries, because women of color are not being valued. And that's why. Wow. Zayden says, wow. Same in interviews. Well, interviews, you can control that. That's a good one. I mean, that's easy. That's easy. Because you can say, can I have a second to think about that? Simone Wealthy says, I agree that work ethic, production quality cannot be denied. However, I think this is for you, Savannah. However, if they do not like you for any reason, it does not matter. They will support who they favor. That's true. What are your thoughts on that, Savannah? She says, that's great. Productivity, quality, all of that. We understand that cannot be denied, but that doesn't mean that does not have to, that does not, Simone is saying, mean that you're going to be accepted.
And that just goes to a toxic work environment, and there's going to be cliques, and there's going to be instances where there is favor and they'll look out for their own. But even with all of that, your work is your work. Your productivity is what you do. Your skills, knowledge, and abilities cannot be denied, regardless of who is the head of that organization. And then if you're presented with that, then you um, don't belong there. That's not where you would be growing, and it's not a great place for you as a professional. So I would definitely be looking elsewhere when my work is often ignored. I go to when I go to work, I tell people, this isn't about feelings. It's not about anything personal. It's about how we work, collaborate as a team to get the mission done. So you had to have thick skin, but your work can never be denied.
All right. I hope that
Queen,
helps, Simone.
another thing when in meetings, we also have to be when we're trying to be heard, we often tend to talk too fast. We have to, and it's unfortunate, but from the pitch of our tone, our body language, all these things can be used against minority women. So those are things that we have to be mindful. Even for how you dress, for if you're going to be up in front of an audience, even those things, your hair, your nails. I can recall being in a meeting, a young lady had neon nails with characters and designs and things hanging off, and a two-star general excused her from the team because he didn't want that representation.
Let
Even
me
those
ask you
things
this.
we had
Was
to
that
be
a
very
bias on
mindful.
his part? It doesn't matter his position.
Absolutely.
Hold on. Was that a bias on his
Absolutely.
part? Did
Absolutely.
anybody advocate for her?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I want that to marinate, y'all. Nobody advocated for her, not even other women of color. So it's almost like each man for himself. Nobody advocated for her. Did she have substantial work? Did she produce quality work? That productivity thing that Simone was talking about. Was she a star player outside of what her nails look like? And I know what you're going with, and I agree, but that's my question, Savannah.
I think you have to, and I definitely agree with you, Queen. And to this day, even when I go get my nails done and make sure that the color is neutral, I don't do color on my nails because of that one experience. And I was very young in
That's a
my
lack of
career
freedom,
coming
though.
up. I wasn't
Is that
absolutely,
not a lack of freedom, Savannah?
absolutely,
But listen,
absolutely.
was she a star player?
Yes,
Was
ma'am.
she a great worker outside of her nails? Did she contribute? Was she great for the team, in your opinion?
Yes, ma'am. She was.
And nobody spoke up for her.
No, ma'am.
Okay. I think that's what Simone was saying when she was saying it doesn't matter the quality if they can pick. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, Simone. Let me drop the link and you could be working. But do you see I mean, I don't know, Savannah. That's what I mean. The toxicity of the workplace. The general decided I don't like your nails. And maybe they were colorful. Maybe they did have character. That's tough. But she was let go. I don't want her on my team because of her nails, not because of her productivity. I don't like her nails. And I get what Savannah's saying. She's saying that's another strategy. So down from your hair to your nails, the way you dress, the way you talk, the cadence of your speech, that's a lot. That's a lot. And according to research, your chromosomes are shifting because you're pretending to be something that you're not. And we're coaching these women to be things that they're not. We're coaching these women to conform. Is that a form of bondage in corporate America? We're not talking about policies and procedures. We're not talking about Kool-Aid red hair, and all of that. We're talking about don't do reds, try not to do blues because they don't like it. Do you see how bad that is, y'all? Do you see where we are, Savannah? The state of where we are? in corporate America based on this research that I just played?
I do. I do. I think, especially the women that I see coming in now, it's more of a survival tactic, and it's unfortunate. But in order to address the biases and uncover barriers on advancement, we have to go through these trenches sometimes, in order for us to get to the other side. It took me years to find the type of director and mentor that I have now. I've been in this space for almost 30 years, and it wasn't until 6 years ago that I connected with her. I went and supported another program. I've come back to work with her. Or I've been there for almost a year, but they're leaders that really care, and they don't have to be females, because I worked under some male leaders that also care about their team and their growth professionally. They're few and far between. You don't find them every day. So it's on us to kind of map out and protect our professional path.
Yeah, I agree. Cassandra D says no one wants to advocate for her because they don't want to lose her job. But the problem is nobody did. There is no collective bargaining amongst us as women of color. See, there's a way you can advocate for somebody. And I get what you're saying. And I agree with you, Cassandra. Now, don't be running out there getting in people's business where you should not be feared for saying, hey, listen, if he was bold enough to say, I'm firing her because of her nails, which is illegal against HR policy, and everybody sat there and nobody was bold enough to go behind the scenes and say, how about I mentor her or I help her along the way? She's a great performer, and I understand where you're coming from. Is there any room for flexibility? Everybody's operating in fear, Cassandra, and that's my problem. It's like the movie The Platform on Netflix. I don't know if y'all seen that, where it starts at one level, and because of fear of missing out and not getting enough, they became very aggressive with the food and took more than what they needed. And I kind of feel like there's a shift. Well, we're not really advocating for each other. Everybody's sitting back like, ooh. And it reminds me, I don't want to say what it really, I'm going to say it, of the old slave mentality on a plantation. Nobody advocated for her. And I get it. I get both sides. But nobody said, I think I can help her. Is there any room for flexibility? And not in that moment, right? You definitely don't want to challenge or do that, because I'm sure he was in a particular mindset. But maybe when things cooled off, how are we utilizing our relationships in these places as we fight our way to get to the top? How are we utilizing the power, the access, the privilege that some of us have compared to other women of color? Are we using it to pull ourselves up, or are we using it to pull others up? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just here. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just playing devil's advocate. What are your thoughts, Savannah? I keep putting you on the spot.
That's okay, ma'am. But Queen, in my experience, and it's unfortunate, but when I do see that women of color, Hispanic and African American women, when they get their foot in the door or even get promoted or in a leadership position, they also find that they are still stereotyped, overlooked, and underappreciated. And then this in turns um, kind of sours their experience as well, and they don't become a champion or advocate for lower staff. And I see this a lot in women that become that gain a title or come in a leadership position. They don't reach back.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Savannah. Cassandra says UPS is very traditional. There are certain colors you can wear, nothing bright. But that applies to everybody, Cassandra. And I like that, because that's the expectation. It seems like what you're saying from UPS: browns, grays, black, blue. So that's a rule for everybody, right? Based on corporate culture. Nobody's being, what do you call when you call out one person? Nobody's being, what they say, what's the word I'm looking for? Nobody's being called out. I don't know if I'm using the right word. So it applies to everybody. Dang, I don't know the word I'm trying to hear. Hold on. All right. Simone Wealthy says working from home has saved more Black women from a lot of the microaggressions, bullying, and retaliation. I think if you're able to be organized, if you're able to stay on task, working from home is one of the best things that could ever have happened for women of color. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. It makes it harder for people to hate you. It makes it harder for you to become a target in the workplace. And even if you do become one, it's for 30 minutes in a meeting and I can turn my camera off. So I do agree with you, Simone. I think working from home, if you are able to, can be one of the safest environmental structures for women of color. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're in the comfort of your home. So. Okay, Zayden says, hey, Palace, it's Casey. I had to quit my job because they kept coming for her. Please pray for me. She's in a shelter now. We most certainly will pray for you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Chrysala says, Queen, my credit score went up by 10 points. Thanks for this program. Doing better and putting myself first. Still give now and then. Congratulations. Know what says, I would say something in a meeting and they wouldn't acknowledge me. Then someone else repeated what I said and they acknowledged it. And I'm going to go back to what Savannah said. She says, sometimes it's just not a good fit. Some of the microaggressions are so blatant, you just got to get the hell out. If you can't even give me a common courtesy to even acknowledge me in meetings, and I'm not saying every one of them or whatever, depending on the toxicity of the culture, sometimes, like Savannah said, you just got to get the hell out. You got to go. Welcome, Simone Wealthy. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Sorry,
I'm
I've been
good.
multitasking all
How are
morning, so I
you?
couldn't hit the button. I'm good. I wanted to expound on what I was saying about you can do everything. And when I say I've done everything, I've hit all the bullet points. Everything that you discussed, I've hit all those bullet points. And when it came time for promotions last year, about this time almost, September, I was looked over for this woman who, when I say is the most rudest, raggediest heifer. She in our meetings and team meetings before hold on, let me turn this down. Before the managers and supervisors would get on, she would be talking a lot of stuff. And you can kind of see when some supervisors are about to log on, and she blatantly called this woman the B word multiple times. We all heard it. It was reported. I didn't report it. Other people did. I was told by someone I trust that they were spoke to by HR about this situation. And when promotions came around, she got promoted. And she called a supervisor, not her supervisor, but they're all on the same team, derogatory names, has been very rude with her. When I say raggedy, she's raggedy on all aspects. But us, people of color, women of color like me, when I say I have to give an Oscar-worthy performance every day, every huddle, every meeting, and we get looked over. And my work ethic is far beyond. I can do this with my eyes closed. I know what I'm doing. My quality is 110% all the time. So that's kind of what I meant by that. Even when I was in the office, I dressed to impress. I know, wear the neutral colored nails. I know all of that, hair, perfect. None of that matters if they don't like your ass, or if they don't feel, if you don't have anyone to support you. And when I say I have 4 women of color who can make those decisions, who can promote me, this is where I'm at. That's why I always said, when I said earlier in the chat, my biggest pains have come from other Black women. Now, they're nice to my face. We're nice. We get along. I'm like I said, I'm just shuffling along, and I'm staying here because I have some goals for myself, and I'll tell you that offline. But I'm staying because I have to reach a certain goal. After I reach that goal, I'll definitely possibly be looking other outside of this organization. But I just said all that. You can do everything right, and I know I've done all of it, all of it. And still nothing. Now they promised me, we're having all these meetings. Oh, we got you, we got you. I don't want to say my real name, but we're gonna look out for you in September. I don't believe that video you just showed us with that white man. I don't believe nothing they say anymore.
Yes.
Nothing. Now, if it happens, it happens. They promise me, okay, fine, cool. But when I tell you I do the bare fucking minimum, I do the minimum, because I'm trying to work on other stuff outside of this so I can start making other income so I don't have to, I can just do the bare minimum here and jump off and work on the shit that's really important to me. So that's what I meant when I was responding back to the lady. So
Okay. No, thank you for elaborating. Thank you. You pointed out something. You said, that's what I mean. I mean, you referred back to the video of the millionaire. He says, believe none of what they say. None
no,
of it.
don't
Ooh,
believe
that's
nothing.
yeah.
Nothing. And I'm looking at women who look just like me. We get along. I like them. They're okay. But they are liars. They have lied to my face. Do you understand what I'm saying? Lied to my face. Okay. And want to act all sister girl. Oh, you're going to the wine tasting. You got to let me know when you go. Bullshit. And they had the power, but they are so trying to impress these white folks that they are, I don't know what it is. I don't want to have that power if I can't help someone who looks like me and reach back and help someone who looks like me. But they have
I'm
power.
going to
I'm
say
talking
this.
about senior directors, two black female managers.
Let me say this, Simone, because I want to be very clear about where we're going and the outcome of this conversation. The outcome of this conversation is for me to get you thinking so that you, and you who are tuned in are solutioning and solving your challenges on your own. And you're not looking to someone else to solve them for you. Now, I introduced the data, the scientific research. That's data. That cannot be disputed, conducted by the University of Boston based on women of color that they've sat down with. And then, in order for them to see and share the chromosomal shift, they had to do probably some blood work or something. I don't know. But the point I'm talking about is to wake you all up, to shake you, to get out of the mindset of, you know what? My boss is going to help me. My director is going to help me. Surprise, surprise. Nobody's coming to help you. I host these conversations in hopes that you will realize that you've got to help yourself. And I just wanted to say that. That's not a dig at anybody, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody gets the gist of why we come here on Wednesday mornings.
Mhm.
I hope that helps.
Oh, I agree. You have to help yourself. That meeting I was telling you guys about the other week, it was just with a director in another area of the company I work for, and it was very, very. It went very well. My goal, for the next couple of years, before I start looking outside of the organization, is just to network within, to see possibly, what's out there, because I really want to get into corporate compliance. So it was just, it went well. My name's out there. I'm meeting with some other people next week. So that was just the goal there, and hopefully, you never know what comes up. Maybe, I can get into it in the next month if something comes open. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all
Yeah,
I
I'm
had.
glad you shared. I'm glad
But
you
no,
shared.
yeah, but
I am.
definitely don't believe any of it. Just you have to work on yourself. You got to do the best that you can for yourself. And, if it's something good happens, you get promoted and you get those things, that's wonderful. But it can be very stressful. When you said chromosomes, I'm like, dang, chromosomes, I probably
Yeah.
am. This weight I done gained and stuff, that it probably is
Yeah.
a mess up my chromosomes.
Have shifted. But I always take it back to you. This is what I like over here. I'm always going to bring it back to you. And when I mean you, I'm not talking about Simone. I'm saying me, us, you. How are you showing up for yourself? What are your expectations of yourself? How did somebody else get into the driver's seats of your life where you're dependent upon them? What are you doing to bring value to yourself? How are you advocating for yourself? How are you leaning in, leaning out? What's your performance review of yourself? Why are you there so long? Why would you let somebody treat you like that? How, why, when? I'm going to talk you into that where you realize, shit, I ain't got no excuse. I am the author and the finisher of my faith. Let me get the hell up out of here. Let me start saving some money. Let me lean into a hobby, let me create multiple streams of income. Yes, because otherwise you sit and you stew in a problem and it becomes everybody else's fault.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't. I can only complain maybe once or twice and vent. I can't. I have to. I'm looking for solutions. I can't just sit in that and just listen to complain. Certain people, coworkers and friends, I have to cut off at a certain point because if you're not working towards a solution, I can't listen to you anymore. That's just I can't do that. But yeah, but I love it. I love your corporate Wednesdays or Thursdays,
Yeah,
or
me
whatever day
too.
it is. I don't know what day.
It's my hope that everybody will like. There's a lady, her name is Denise. And Denise, I hope you're here. Please inbox me, Denise. Please. I just love her attitude. She's been listening to Corporate Wednesdays. And Savannah, don't wait for me to call on you. If you see something you want to jump on, just jump on in here. But Denise, she said she's been in the bushes listening to Corporate Wednesdays for quite some time. And I'm going to share her story because it was absolutely amazing. And she's been listening. She says she was note taking everything we were talking about and just keeping notes and keeping notes. And one day she just, well, not one day. So she started to lose sleep. Remember? The lady says scientific research, sleep, what'd y'all say? Sleep apnea, insomnia, waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning. Is that, no, it's
Mhm. It could be
insomnia.
both, actually. It could be insomnia or apnea. Yeah.
Okay. So sleep, depressive symptoms, anxiety, stress, all of that, right? So, and then her sleep became interrupted 3 a.m. over and over and over and over and over. She did a little bit of research on YouTube regarding why am I waking up constantly at 3 a.m. She was able to find something that was very helpful in the midst of her seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be open. It was brought to her seeking. Plan your exit strategy. She said because of tuning in on these Wednesday morning shows, she began to crunch the numbers. What is it going to take for me to get the hell up out of there? She did the number. She came up with the number. She walked the hell away on May 30th from corporate America. Am I telling you to walk away? No, I'm just telling you to save yourself. I'm telling you to
Mhm.
save yourself. I'm telling you to put your mask on first and then offer assistance. In the words of Joel Osteen, get yourself in a good Bible-based church. Listen, I'm telling you.
Okay, Joel.
I like, how Joel at the end, get yourself in a good Bibles basis church. I'm
Yes.
telling you, you got to be able to assess when something is not good for you, when something has become toxic. And that's what she did. She says, I'm experiencing symptoms of depression. This is happening in my life. This isn't me. I can't sleep. You know what? Something has got to give. She sat down. She crunched a number. She came up with the number. She left corporate America May 30th. She
Mm.
said, I am free. Not only am I free, an opportunity came knocking. She took that property preservation course. She said she has 3 crews in New York. She's earning the most money she's ever earned to the point she won't even touch it in her business account because she can't believe it's there. And the freedom that she has to get up every morning and have a cup of coffee without worrying about the stress and anxiety. And not only that, she has not taken another pill for depression since she has left that toxic environment. She said, I threw those fucking pills in the trash. I have never felt that since I walked out and I chose freedom. I hope that is helpful. I'm sorry I was passionate about that, but I'm so proud of
No,
her. Savannah,
that's a wonderful story.
isn't
Wonderful.
that wonderful?
I love it because it shows that she did her research and her homework, and she became resilient and put herself first. I think as women, we tend not to seek opportunities for growth, regardless of what career field you're in. You should look for workshops or training or whatever it may be, but absolutely start putting yourself first and your needs, what is important to you. And because the list of microaggressions, it can be, it's endless. It's endless. And it's in the beginning of our careers, we're kind of mimicking or simulating and studying, because in the beginning you're a student. You're always a student. You should always be learning. But in the beginning, you should be more of a student and looking at, okay, how do they operate? How do they survive? But then when we're in our in our more senior season ages, we just don't give a F, and we put ourselves first. We embrace our courage, and we just make sure that it's all about what is meaningful for us, and show up and take action.
I agree, Savannah. Go ahead, Simone. I think you were trying to. Um,
No, I agree. I really like what you're doing, Queen, because I think you're just trying to break our mindset. Because I think people like in my age category, and just if you were born around a certain time, we've just been conditioned to, go to school, graduate high school, graduate college, get into corporate America, get into government, and just work, work, work. We haven't been taught to think outside of the box where other races, possibly they can take those chances. And for me personally, I really love this young generation when it comes to certain things as far as working for themselves. And I understand, technology, social media, has played some parts in the way that they think, but I really like how they're not sticking around with some BS. If they don't like it, they're out. They're going to other streams of income, starting their own small businesses. So I appreciate you trying to get us out of that shell. That's how I look at it.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure, because there's everything you have. I'm sorry, and I'm gonna bring this from my executive coaching experience. Everything that you need, you have inside of you. You have the power and the potential to solve your own problems.
Mhm.
To solve your own problems, your own issues. Let me be clear. I'm not saying that what we're up against, the challenges, the triggers, the microaggressions, all of that, the biases, that it's not real. But the question still goes back to, at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to solution this thing for yourself? What's the game plan? What play are we going to run? We stand for 6 more months, like the lady Denise said. Let me crunch these numbers. How much do I need to make and put aside to get the hell up out of here? And that's how we got to start talking to ourselves. Okay, all right, there's a problem here. I've been sitting here, I've been waiting for a promotion that I think I deserve, but obviously we're not in alignment. We're not in agreement. They don't see me for that role. I can accept that. I got to get the hell up out of here if that's what I'm aiming for, because this is not the place that's going to get me there. All right, what are my options? I don't know. Well, let me figure it out, at least putting in the work on our part, that at the end of the day, we wouldn't waiting on nobody else. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to think like that, especially in these times. Right now, you have to, because a lot of organizations are killing us. A lot of them, they are physically, mentally killing us. Or I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Unaliving us. I'm sorry. um
It's okay. You
they
can say that.
they
Just
take so much from us mentally, because if you're on that high thinking, okay, I'm doing everything, all the dominoes are lined up, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, I'm hitting all the bullet points, I'm doing XYZ, I'm going above and beyond, and you still don't get it, it can be disappointing. But like you said, you have to just work on yourself, and just get out of that mindset. Don't depend on what they possibly could or could not give us, as far as promotions or what have you. So I'm out of it. I could, I care, but I could really care less now. If it happens, it happens. I'm over the disappointment and the hurt. I'm just focusing on me and what things I have planned out for myself. So I can have financial freedom.
and and remember, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece to start, you guys. I think sometimes when we think of a number, we're thinking this astronomical number. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece to start. All you have to do is paint. And once you start to one thing you'll start to see is as you begin to seek, you'll begin to find. And then you'll find the next puzzle piece and the next puzzle piece. But you got to get moving. You got to be willing to take that first step. And speaking of taking that first step, if you are in my members only, I just dropped something for you. I just dropped something for you. Or if you are looking for opportunity that knocks, I just gave you a link to apply for a scholarship to attend the 2024 Behavioral Health Tech Conference. To my knowledge, I could be wrong. This is the first one that I've heard about. Behavioral health tech. Behavioral, like if you're into mental health, behavioral health, I'm passionate about mental health and behavioral health, but they're hosting a conference in Arizona in November for those of you that can afford to go, but they're also offering scholarships, right? Oh, this is the second year in a row to attend the event at a discounted rate, right? And they're offering it to startups, direct service providers, government officials, and nonprofits. They're encouraging you to apply. Okay, it's from November 5th to November 7th in Arizona at the Biltmore Waldorf Astoria. Okay. And the event convenes health plans, employers, behavioral health providers, digital health companies, investors, and policymakers to connect for the purposes of advancing access to behavioral health care for all. They're just saying mental health. How are we going to get people the help that they need by way of mental health? Why would it be important for you to go? See what companies are out there. Get out there and network. Shoot your shot. That's why I put it back there behind the wall. Expose yourself to a different crowd. There's going to be government agencies there. There's going to be nonprofits there. There's going to be startups. Take your marbles and go play elsewhere. That's it. I just like exposing y'all to something different. And it's not a lot of requirements. All they're asking you for the scholarship, okay, of course, you give your name, your occupation, your email, and then it says, tell us more about you, your work, and why you would like to attend the Behavioral Health Tech Conference. That's it. So I believe that when opportunity knocks, you seize it. I'm going. I'm not even in tech. But guess what? Every tech needs a consultant. They need a wellness person. They need a secretary. They need HR. They need what you're doing, what you can bring. So I'm just, hopefully somebody that's helpful. And I hope to see you all there. Simone, you gonna go? I'm playing with you.
Look, my focus on the cruise, honey. That's the next thing I
Yeah,
want to get to. But no, that's a very good thing.
it
Definitely
is.
mental health is something that we definitely need to focus on more. And like you said, it's so many areas in that you could possibly get into. So that's a positive thing. So I hope a lot of people take advantage of it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got enough time. August, September, October, November. Shoot your shot. That's a whole different ball field that you can play. You never know who you'll meet. You never
Yes.
know what corporation you can apply for, what nonprofit entity that you can help. And then startups, oh, they pay very well. And let's talk about startups because I'm getting off topic. Somebody posted, I don't remember who it was, something where oh, I know who it was. It was Kicking It for Courtney. And I think it was yesterday. She reposted something that Stormy Steele shared. And the title was on Courtney's page, did Stormy found TikTok because she's acting like it. Basically, like because of her, Stormy's post was like, basically, I'm opening up the doors for other, business owners. No, but Kyle did. Kyle
Um,
did. Kyle did because Kyle actually helped develop the startup. Bite Dance, and Bite Dance founded TikTok. So you never know what you can do with these startups. Exactly, Vina. She said Kyle did. So you never know what you can walk into with these startups. And sometimes startups are a little bit more liberal than these corporations that have been around for quite some time because you're all learning together. So there's no hard requirements. They have an idea of what they need and want, but you're all building systems and processes together. So it's a great opportunity to make a career shift sometimes with the startup. Janine Gatewood says, thanks, Queen. I don't know how life insurance will factor in, but you could go into health and benefits, employee benefit plans, write that down. Employee benefit plans. That's what that is. Benefit programs, stuff like that. Working with the HR team, working alongside the HR team.
There is a lot of money in startups. I know my friend of mine's sister-in-law, she started a consulting business doing DEI for different organizations, and her contracts, just like one contract was, I want to say 35,000, and she has multiple contracts with different companies, and she just goes in and, you know, does different. Matter of fact, remember I messaged you about that culturally unfreezing um, situation. We were having something at my job about that. She just goes and does different programs with different departments, and she just does things like that. Maybe once, twice a month, three times a month, and that's it. And she's getting huge contracts, and I was like, wow, this
Yeah,
is it's a lot of money in this, and her business is flourishing, and so yeah, it's a lot of money in startups. So
a whole lot of money in startups.
mhm.
Um,
And
Trisha Berry says, I start my new role next week. I'm nervous now. Don't be. You've been up against some of the most adversarial environments. You got this. You ain't new to this. You true to this. You got it. Don't be nervous. You know how to navigate. And my recommendation is get in and just kind of observe, watch. Don't be too hands-on. Sit back in the cut. You know what time it is. DJ, any tips for a stay-at-home mom getting back in the field? Have any of you ever been a stay-at-home mom, Savannah or Simone?
no, ma'am. Nope.
No, I have never been a stay-at-home mom. No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Any tips from the chat? Any tips for a stay-at-home mom getting back into the field? My first question would be what field, DJ? My second, my first question would be what field? My second recommendation from a consultative standpoint would be to research so that you're current on the direction of the field. You have just current knowledge and you kind of know what's going on. I don't know how long you've been at home with your baby or your kids. Um, have your resume ready to go. Get 2 or 3 sets of eyes on it. Be able to speak to your skill set and what you will be bringing to that role in the workplace. Let me see if anybody else. Okay. Ivory says, find out what skills you need to build on. That's a good one, Ivory. And that's for you, DJ. She's saying whatever field it is that you're thinking about going into, what skills, what are the prerequisites, what are the requirements that they're asking for, and find out what skills you have. I would probably say, what do you have versus what you don't have, and being able to speak to what you do have. And then knowing if there's something that you don't have by way of a certification, whatever they're asking for, how long
Mhm.
would it take you to get it? And being able to speak to that in an interview. Regina B says, I worked all my life and now about to work from home. Okay. But
And look
anybody
at the
that is,
work-life
yeah,
balance as well. Look at the work-life balance. If you have small children, you want to make sure that it's a position or whatever positions you're looking at. I don't know what field. Maybe you can continue to work from home, and it could possibly save on daycare, and things in regards to your children, after school care, things like that. So, or that works around your schedule with your children. That's the only thing I can
Yeah.
think of in my head.
A lot of organizations, due to what we went through in 2020, have seen the value in working from home and are more now open to a hybrid schedule or completely remote. So they are taking into effect work-life balance, being that society also, our mental health has become a large issue, um, coming back from being separated for so long. There really wasn't a plan on how we integrate back again. So work-life balance is something that most employers now, or employees even looking, that's one of their requisites that they look, okay, is this hybrid, is this remote? So organizations, whether it's private industry or even government, are more in favor of having a hybrid or remote positions available.
Thank you for sharing, ladies. So I hope that was helpful. DJ, Miss Wynn says she was a stay-at-home mom for 4 years. She's in the mental health field. She was able to maintained attending free training, and she worked 1 day a week to prevent a gap in her resume. CV is your cover letter? Is that what CV means, cover letter? I don't know what CV means or resume, but right here, CV. So Modest Couture says that she was a stay-at-home mom for 15 years and she went and got her mortgage license. So think about the things that you do and you do well, DG, and what field would produce your best performance, and then doing research. Yeah, on that. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in on Wednesday corporate segment. Tough conversation as always, but hey, we just got to get to the heart of the matter. It is what it is. Um, as a reminder, you got this. I like to shake things up, get you to thinking, because you are the author and the finisher of your fate. I hope it was helpful information, let you know that there's nothing wrong with you. What you're feeling is real. It's real. It has an impact, and it's going to be in your best interest to try to achieve that work-life balance, take your PTO, book that flight, book that hotel, take some time off, and enjoy your life. Yes. Great show as all well. Great show as usual. Here Moore says, thank you, everybody. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to my panelists, Savannah. Thank you. Thank you to Simone. Who else was up here? I think that was, Trisha. Trisha. Thank you, Trisha Berry, and congratulations. Don't be scared, Trisha. You got this. All right, everybody. Have a good day and happy Wednesday to you all.
Have a good day.
You too, Savannah.